So hello everyone, this is a video, kind of a follow-up of the Portugal series. Basically, while we were living in there for about a week and a half, during the whole travelling stage of the holiday, we found a few things we needed to improve on. For example, there's only one cup holder in the Iveco, so my mum can't put her bottle or drink anywhere. The USBs, the 12 volt socket doesn't hold a USB plug at all, it just falls out every 2 seconds. And the tap broke within 2 days of using it. We need some lights under the front end of the bed, not the back end, like so you can access from inside the van. And we need to sort out the cutlery drawer. So cutlery's normally on the top, like here, and then you have other drawers beneath it. So yeah, a couple of jobs to do. This will be spread over about a week because we can't get it all done today. So yeah, I'll see you in the building. So here you go everyone, so this is the crappy cigarette lighter that everything falls out of, because it's actually like a really old school cigarette lighter, it's not like a 12 volt socket. And back there is what I need to take off, and I'm going to have to chop off that connector to put spade connectors on. In fact, maybe that is like spade connectors in one. Anyway, I'll need to test what's positive and negative, because I remember once, like these are orange and brown, and in this van, like orange, you'd think would be red, positive. But no, one time it was negative, because we were putting in new speakers because they blew. So yeah, so just going to get a multimeter on that, test that, and then we'll be putting in the new USBs, which I'll show you when they're not in the house and they're here. So here's the multimeter. It's just a case of making sure it's on the voltage and giving it a test. Well, there's the bulb, that just comes straight out. I'm trying to work out how you get this green thing off, because as you can see it's got like, well, as you can't see, in there you can see it's that sticking out, but this is circular, so how the hell did they get that in there? So here's the new one, it illuminates around the outside, so pretty cool. Hopefully it will fit. Yeah, that fits. But basically, I'm going to take these connectors off here and not lose them. And I'm going to chop that block wherever it's gone. Where's it gone? There it is. As close to the connector as possible, because there's not much cable to work with. Ouch, that shocked. Actually, that wasn't an ouch at all, but it sparked. That's what you've got to be careful of when you strip it, that they don't touch. They're alright now because they're cut ends. I'll do one at a time. So there you go, as you can see it illuminates blue in there, in the back. It's pretty cool, it's got a little cover. So now I'm going to just screw it in. So there you go, as you can see. Blue light under there. And then it just pops back on, and you can just plug them. They're both 2.1 as well, they're not like the normal ones where one's 1 and one's 2.1. That's why I got this one. So another thing, we want some LEDs at the back of this beam here, which is the bed beam. So I drilled a hole for the switch, which is here, so that will fit nicely in there. And then basically there's this shot block back here, which is off the light fuses, well the fuse named lights, and so one end comes from the fuse block, one end goes back to the underbed lights over there, and then another one goes to the main light and then the kitchen. So I'm going to branch off that because it's lights, and then it'll work from that switch there. Okay, so I couldn't film that because it was too awkward to get to, because my head was just here, so you wouldn't have been able to see anything. But then I just basically screwed that in, tapped it in. It's just a bit of cable I had lying around, almost a perfect length. And then there's these clips, which are like 25mm water pipe clips, or conduit clips, you know. But because they are like capped and they come off. Well, they come off with a bit of faff, but when they do come off, there you go. You can just, you can't even see that. You can just add an extra cable in, and then once it's added, you just push the clip down. There you go, it's in. So basically I use them everywhere instead of like the cable tacks that if you want to add anything you just got to hammer them in. You see how quick that was? Unclip, clip in. So yeah, very easy. So as you can see, I've just brought the cable through the hole, stripped it, and now I'm adding just normal spade crimping connectors. So you put the positive in there, of course, and then you join both the negatives together. There you go, that's now on, and these are the negatives, and that basically means the blue light will light up. So there we go, we've got the positive coming in, the negative coming in and going straight back out again, and then the positive coming out of here. And basically by having the negatives in there it means you'll have the blue light. Ta-da!
Oh my god!
So there we go, you turn it off and you turn it on. Hello everyone, so I'm just recording on my phone for now because I didn't expect to do this work today and I've got the chance, but I didn't run my camera, so I just like to film it for you. But basically we're going to be installing the water pump because the tap pump broke second day into Portugal, even the first actually. When we were still in Spain it broke. It's one of the whale submergible pumps that goes in the water butt. So I'm going to put it in, plumb the end of this into it of course, and then I'm going to drill another hole in here for it. And then I'm going to cut the cable open and then put a DC jack on it, so you can disconnect the hose, disconnect the cable, and then you can unscrew the lid and take the whole thing out and it'll have the pump in. You won't have to, because you couldn't get the pump through this lid. So it's just the most sensible way, have them both detachable, then you can still have a sealed water butt, walk around, put this back, plumb them both back in. So basically I'm going to have to run the cable back through there, hopefully it'll fit through them, and through the ones at the back as well, and through to this door, because we use 3 fuses in a 4 fuse block. So the spare one I just thought I'd wire it in already, just ready in case we need to add something. So here the pump is the perfect solution. So all I need to do is run the cable into that and run it into my DIY grounding block, and there you go. So hello everyone, I kind of forgot to record most of the video, all of the video yesterday, but basically we gave it a test run, got some water in the bottom. So what I did was drilled another hole in there, as you can see, and then soldered a male so I drilled a hole in the lid next to the hose one. I connected the hose to the pump, and then this cable I cut a little bit in and soldered a male DC jack, because the male ones have the negative on the outside and the positive on the inside. I thought it would be a little bit more waterproof because the female, both of them are inside, so if water got in it might short out. So that was just my thinking. So then there's a hose here which goes to a standard garden hose connector, and back there you can see the other jack, so I soldered that there, and then I used these 25mm hose connectors for both the hose and the cables, including all the way around, because it means if you ever need to add anything in the future, which I have been doing, they're not like the cable tacks which you hammer in. You can just unclip them, add a new cable in, and clip them shut again. Definitely recommend them. You can get them really cheap from Wix. You get like a pack of 100 for like, I don't even know how much, but really cheap. And then here, soldered, as you can see, goes through there, goes through the cable, and then at the back there, which it's not exposed to, you can see the cable going off there, and then I break the positive off, and I'll show you around there just now. So earlier on in the video, as you know, we installed this light, so that's been great now. But as you can see, the cable comes across here, and then I break off the positive, and it goes through this wall, as you can see there. When you come up here, the cables are just there, and then you've got this little switch, and that activates the pump. and it just comes straight out. So this lever just stays there. The rest of the cable comes along here next to the LED strip. It's this black one. So as I said, you can just open them up and add more cables. Here's the switch for the under the bed, as I showed you. So you just turn that on, and then you can see more cables here. Look, they're very busy junctions. And then I just wired it down there to the fuse box and the negative ground block, which is that bit of wood screwed to the wall. So yeah, it's quite as simple as that. So it comes off the fuse, so it's fused. It does say on the information sheet that the whale pump comes with a 5 amp fuse, so I just put a 5 amp fuse in. Attached it to the grounding block, which is just a bolt going through a bit of 35mm with a wing nut on the end, so you can just add new things whenever you need to. And that goes to the battery and to the earth of the van. Then all you need is just some dual core cable, and it goes through around the bed, and then the positive breaks off, goes to a switch so you can turn it on and off, and then it goes to a connector so you can disconnect the water butt and fill it up, take it out, fill it up somewhere, and then the other end of the connector goes straight to the pump. So very simple wiring, but yeah, that's all of the upgrades that we've made. So that's the USB, the underbed lights and the pump, and we also turned the tap round because it was the wrong way around before. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, any questions, anything you'd like to say, please do mention it in the comments, and if you're not subscribed, please do hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next video.